Hi, it's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. I wanted to come today to show you my new journal that I just completed. This one is called The Rose, and the whole book is, well, all about roses and anything that is pretty. This is a lace journal. It has lots of lace and ribbon and anything that might look like petals or something to do with roses. I did go into this book not, really thinking to make it so big, and then it just sort of grew on itself. So as for the measurement, this is about 9.5 inches, right to down here, and if you can see, and then about 6 across, and the spine is about 2.5 inches. So this is a hardcover book. And it is a hidden spine, and it's a little bit curved spine as well. This is the tassel for it. I did not make this tassel. It did come like this. I did purchase it. I just thought it's just so beautiful. To go with the roses, everything on this is the champagne pink and the beiges and so on, the gold. Just perfect for something like this. And I just put a little bit of pink silk on top. So this is removable if you really don't need it, or you don't like tassels, whatever the reason, you can remove it. And then just as well, you can put it back whenever it is that you might want it. And on the cover, there is a lot of detail. There's a lot of different ribbons and so on that I put on. As well as some sequins and beads. Everything was a separate piece. I sewn everything together, and I added this little rose over here, just the perfect color as well. A little bit more sequins here, and then the title also has different silks and the beautiful metal frame, and this beautiful fabric is all about roses. You can tell here. And I made a tag for the front here. I've sewn all through the petals just to make it highlighted a little bit more, because of course the rose petals, they're just so intricate and so soft and very almost like powdery sometimes when you touch them. And so there's a few different laces over here as well, and a little bit of beads on the bottom. And it is ready to be written. It's got a little bit of pink over here written on the back if you wish, or just leave it as it is. So it goes into this pocket. And then the closure is just cotton. I happen to have dyed this cotton. The color bled, and what I ended up, I was just going to have it pink, but it ended up with some kind of muted color with the blues and beiges and so on. So instead of putting a sari silk or some other silk for the closure, because there's so much already going on, I just put the plain one, and I think it's just as beautiful and just the right color, not to, contradict with any of this beauty over here. And so these are all the laces that you can see here, and some beads that are in the journal. A little bit sparkly, of course. And over here as well. And on the bottom, we have this beautiful color button. And so I used the different colors, of course, that roses come in, the yellows and the pinks and reds, but mostly pink because, well, I love pink roses myself. I just prefer them. However, any rose is a beautiful rose. That is for sure. So let me show you a little bit what's going on inside. So this book is a large book. It is quite full with ephemera and different images and a lot of sewing, a lot of ribbon and lace, and it has 2 signatures plus a medal. I will show you what that is all about. So over here, this is cardstock over here as the backing, and then in the first pocket we have this of course, everybody's seen this beautiful image from 1800s painting. And so this one is the very first one. And then I printed this from the New York Public Library, Something Here's to the Rose. And it is probably a song about roses. So I just printed it on this newsprint sort of paper. It's very thin, but you can still write on the back. So you can have that. This is in the very front. And of course, this is decoupage rose, and then on top of the little doily, and as well as some silk on the bottom here also. So quite a lot of detail over here. And then over here is a flip out page. So to begin with, we do have a tag over here with this beautiful violet color with roses on it, and a little bit of lace on top. And I just stamped up and I punched out as well, and did a lot of sewing here, if you can see. Sorry about the shadow. And that goes in this pocket on the top. Now there's a pocket over here as well, but it's empty for you to fill in. And here's another one. This one I left, I put on top just some pink silk, just to go with the folds in her pink dress, as well as the flowers over here. So I like it just to have texture on journaling cards, and this pretty button here as well. And anything in the back is coffee dyed or tea dyed and so on. So here's a butterfly and some stamping, and of course sewing all over. And in the back you have another pocket here as well, so that you know, you can put something in here. And over here is beautiful cardstock with roses on it. And then I also added a little poem about red roses on the bottom with some collaging on it. And then this beautiful wreath that my mom makes. Thank you, Mom, for all your hard work on these. I use these all the time, and they just look beautiful in any journal, of course. So this is the first page, and in the back there's a pocket that you can fill, and then over here some stamping, and over here as well. So over here we have an English cottage. This is a page from a vintage book, and on top I did put some tab, and then here on the back you can write on it. It has lines. It's just perfect for some journaling in the back here. So I do give you some space for journaling, and some extra space as well. I will show you shortly. Now this beautiful pink lace. Now I left this one sewn in a half circle. Well, why not? Usually I cut this part off and then I just put straight on the edge, but I thought, well, why not make this a little bit different and just go with the entire piece as it is. And then I stamped rose over here, this beautiful, beautiful image, and some other stamping. Now the pink over here is just a little bit of food dye, and that went over a white page, and I just left that. I didn't coffee stain it, left it like that, and it was perfect for this journal. So a little bit of a bead over here, a little bit sparkly bead, stamping, and then here collaging. This is the birthday wrap, you know, the one that you use for decoration against the ceiling or somewhere. So I made that into a rose, and then over here is a little tag with pink on the back, and it says roses, and I stamp up over here. This is a see-through plastic pocket with a bit of rose over here, fabric, and stamping. In the back over here is a pocket again, and this beautiful, beautiful image. This is from a book, so it is authentic piece with different colors over here. And then a flip out on this page. This is from one of those Victorian photo albums where you have a window here, and I inserted a little image that you can remove and put something different. And you, as well, you can add some more into this. This is vellum on the back here. And then this is a write-up about roses, so I left this text just for something different, because the whole journal is pretty busy with decoration. So you have silk over here, and some tulle over here, and a beautiful rose garden as well. On the back, you have a little bit of space for writing, and then I did put a little bit of a bow and bead over here. And over here is a beautiful rose vintage book page. And then this is a pocket as well, a lace pocket. This beautiful, beautiful sort of a beigeish pocket. And on top, I give you a black pin just so you can pin something on it, whatever it is that you might have for this collection. And then over here, I have a little bit of a label, but I also made it into this paper and fabric collage. So this will open up, and then, you know, you can write inside here. And over here, I also did stamping with different colors and different stamps as well, just to make this little rose garden here to go with these beautiful roses. This is a vintage book page, and I put a little bit of a type of roses down here. And then inside of this pocket, which is a pocket, by the way, and is more roses, of course, from a book here, and a little bit of poems and so on. And a little bit of a petal notebook, it's just a larger one. I usually make smaller ones. And then a tiny little paper charm, and this beautiful pink rose here. And these beautiful pages to write on. And this here is a little bit of a fabric pocket for you to put something in as well. So this goes into this pocket. And then in the back I did some stamping. And over here is a page, vintage page about roses, and this beautiful illustration in pink about roses. And it goes onto this side, and in here I put a belly band, and it's just put together in a collage of a few different, well, as you can tell, many actually different textures and fabrics and eyelash trim and ribbons in a little bow right in the middle. It's very beautiful. Let's just take a look at this a little bit more up close. Just seemed to make this page just spark and pop up. So over here I did give you a music page. It says serenade, so of course roses, you know, maybe wine. We could use a little glass of wine nowadays. And you know, chocolates. Yeah, I should have had chocolate, but unfortunately I don't have a box right now. I did finish what I had. So also here, this beautiful bead that I made, and this is a lace tab, and it has many different laces in it. It's not just one. If you look through it, you can see the eyelash and ribbons and different vintage laces and so on. So let me just show you a little bit more up close. It's very pretty just to see and to hold and go through. And the back of that. Over here I put a pink butterfly and a little bit of cheesecloth and ribbon. And it's glued on top of a doily. So also very beautiful, making the page just a little bit more special. Over here is a coffee dyed page, and it has some darker red colored ribbon. And inside the pocket is lady, what I call tall ladies, a tall tag, and she's got this beautiful red dress on. It's just one of the beautiful colors that a rose might come in. And purple here as well, with a little bit more ribbon. Now we come to the middle of the first signature. We do have a little bead charm over here in the middle, and over here it is a lace pocket with silk, pink silk, and then the beige lace over top just drapes over these pages. And then over here is a little poem about red, red rose, and more of the fabric and paper collaging. And then over here is a book page from my Victorian household catalog. It does have a section on the garden and about roses and seeds and so on. So left this as it is. You can either look at it or you can write your notes on it and so on. But in the back here you also have some space for your notes and writing as well. And in the back here I have another tall tag with this beautiful pink on the on her dress, just beautiful. So I added a little pink tab on top as well. And this is like a fabric ribbon on the bottom and some lace. And this is the other side of the butterfly here. And the music page. And this is a pocket. I put a little bit kind of in the middle of the page. I mean, why does it have to be on the corner down here? Not really. I could put it anywhere. So I put this one on top with some lace. And then I put roses in a little collage here. Just in case you forget that this journal is about roses. But, you know, obviously you can't forget that. And this little collage that I made over here just reminds me of a butterfly's wings. And, you know, the spine of the butterfly here. It just came out so, I don't know, so pretty and very, very delicate. So on the back here, we have these beautiful, beautiful roses. The illustration, the etchings is just very, very extraordinary, I would say. And probably should have been maybe framed or something. This is a pocket here. And I did some stamping and left you space to fill in, and then just some pinks. There's a little bit of roses, but also other flowers and trees with all the pinks that you can imagine, I guess. And then over here, it's just a little bit. Let me take this off. Okay, it was just a little bit stuck. And then over here, I did stamping again to go with these colors, and I did different kinds of stamps as well as stencils and so on to get this effect, and it just comes out so lovely. And then over here is more of fabric collaging of all kinds, really. And then this beautiful pink paper, and inside you have this little bit to write on. And I included again just a little clip for you to clip something that you might be collecting. And then over here is also a lace pocket. And then here's rose garden, and you can see a little bit over here of a pasture with some cows on, and it's just so lovely in the countryside, maybe somewhere. So I left a lot of whatever might be coming off of the silk as I tore it, because mostly I try to tear it. There is some cutting, but I try to tear it. I left all the little fuzzies because it just makes it all the more softer that way, more powdery, the look that I wanted for it. And so all the you know, sewing tails and anything else, I just left it on here just to make more of that effect of the petals. So I didn't use petals per se. I mean, I could have just glued on a few petals for that purpose, but what I wanted to do was more use other fibers to create that effect. So in the back, we also have a little bit more ribbon and beautiful pink roses. And then over here is another empty pocket. I will show you what that's all about at the end, just so that you keep you guessing what that's all about. Why am I including a lot of empty pockets? Although I still have some ephemera in here in these pages, but I'll show you at the end. And then this beautiful, just, I don't know, something about, you know, when you layer fabric and lace and so on together, it just creates that beautiful, soft, silky feeling. So I try to put all of the soft ones like that on top here. So over here is another little tag that says the rose, and some more stamping here, and a little bit of violet fabric. Then here is that page with a bit of pink and stamping. I give you some lines here. And then another one of these lace tabs, and this beautiful pink bead. And then as you can see here, all the work in here with the different laces and so on. So for the most part, it looks like maybe I just threw this together, but there is a little bit of planning on what to put on top, what to put under, just to make sure that it actually stays, because sometimes when you use lace, it sort of gets lost a little bit. So I wanted this to be a firm kind of tab so that I can attach a charm onto it and it is still intact. And then this beautiful pink page over here. I could just go like this, and that's just as if I'm feeling this paint. Over here is a little bit more stamping and a little bit of a type of rose. And then over here we have more lines for you to write on this vintage page. And then this beautiful lady here holding roses and a bit of eyelash trim here, and as well here on the paper clip. And the paper clips I try to use different colors also. And more in the back, it actually says journal over here. And then over here, and a beautiful rose here, and this coral or orangey to go with that rose. And then a pocket over here. And then this is a flip out page. It goes this way. So to begin with, we have a notebook here. And then over here is a taller tag. I do have stampings and different papers on here, book papers, text, and stamping, and fabric rose here, and a tab, and then also some embossing. If you can see it over here, it just came out beautiful in this coffee dyed tag, and then with the embossing on there as well. So I'll put that back over here. And then in the back is also a pocket, so you can put something in here as well. And collaging over here. And here's a tag on this side. Let me just show you so you can have another tag here or whatever it is you wish to put. So over here I have a tag with a little bit of sparkly here on this, and then a little bit of this gold tone fabric or silk. And then this butterfly, I put a little bit of shiny on his spine over here as well, and then I sewed right through the butterfly and added a little bit of, it actually says here, I'm Ruth, so it's almost like this butterfly has a name. Ruth. Anyhow, then this beautiful rose cardstock here. This is, well, a little booklet that I will show you at the very end, because I just want to show you first the journal itself, the second signature, and then this is something rather on its own that I don't want it to overtake the whole book, so I want to show you the rest of the book first. So over here we have the second signature, and this beautiful lady here with a butterfly and some stamping, a little button over here. It look at these roses, just so lovely in her arms here, and button to kind of match. And then over here she had something in her hair that was about the same color of this thread that I happen to have, so I just kind of put that on there just to go with the hat. And of course in the back you can write on. So over here is a pocket, and over here is a pocket, and then over here is a pocket as well, so you can fill those in yourself as you wish. And then over here is a tag of another butterfly with collaging of all kinds of papers and fabric and ribbon and so on. And then the butterfly also has a little bit of a shiny spine here, and then some cheesecloth on top, and this beautiful orange ribbon. So in this journal, although it still looks vintagey, there's a lot of frilly things, a lot of pinks, a lot of whites, and light blues and pastels and so on. So completely different of maybe what I might normally do, such as my Wolfology series about wolves. And this one here is a pocket also, and another one of my mother's beautiful crochet flowers over here. And then also this cardstock, very beautiful. And over here is a poem about the delicate pink rose flower and what it symbolizes and so on. So there's a few poems that are just like, average poems, or still beautiful, but, just a regular poem. And then some are what the different colors of the roses mean. And some are what the types of roses are, and so on. So here's a pocket here. So, and this one has a type of rose, Rosa multiflora. so I don't really know. I love roses, but I don't know all the technical names for them. And I'm not so good at keeping the rose. I bought another rose, and I'm hoping that it'll survive this year, but we'll see. We'll see in spring if it will survive. Hopefully, I'm in a little bit better climate. I'm not sure. Also, you have to feed it and so on, and I'm not the greatest at that. So I'm hoping to have at least one rose this summer. I do have a couple of others that came with the house, so hopefully I can keep those as well. Now this lady here also has a little bit of a lacy, silky collage here, and then she looks like she's picking flowers from this vase, and she's got this beautiful floral yellow dress. And so I put a little bit of yellow eyelash trim here, and as well I put a tab on the top, so lines over here, that vintage journal page with the English cottages. It says journal here. And then look at this. This is the paper that I dye with the purple cabbage, and I stamped up the corners into this and put one of these flowers again. Very beautiful also. I mean, just to write your poem or your memoirs here, or anything about roses, which really I should probably have one, so I can write out all the information that I need to know about them, so I can grow them a little bit more successfully. Here's a belly band over here. And this one also very beautiful, with a little bit of sparkly rhinestone in there. Also a lot of detail on the sewing as well. And it holds, here's to the rose, the poem. I think it goes with the page that we have in the beginning. And you can write in the back on this, but I thought it just fits it perfectly here. But even this page on its own is just very beautiful, with the blues against the reds and the pinks. And then if you look just over here, let's look at this, admire this beauty over here for a minute. Just all the different colors that I used in these journals. So let's put this back over here. And a little bit more of the English cottage here from a book. And then I left some silky bits on it, and a little bit of ribbon. And on the back here, also a little label, these labels that I make. And then put all kinds of fabrics and texture, because I love texture. So stamped up a little bit, almost like a trellis. And then this beautiful, beautiful pink rose over here. And then a lace pocket here. And then this opens up as well into a full page. And then another label for you to write here. And then collaging all throughout, collaging all the time. And a little bit more, a spot for you to write on over here. And then I stamped up here. This is the other side where I stamped up the little rose garden. And over here is cardstock and another pocket. Stamping and stamping over here. So if you look at the layering over here, the way it goes, from one page to the next, it's just gorgeous the way it looks. So over here is maybe a white or a yellow rose, also a vintage book page, and then amateur gardener writing up here, and then a little bit more roses here from the Victorian photo album. And of course, as I said, you can remove it if you wish, the page, or leave it as it is, and put in some more. And then inside I also collaged all through. If you can see, there's roses here, and then different colors, and some ribbon and fabric, and then over here a little bit rose as well. So it's all collaged in the back as well. Now this more roses over here, vintage book page, and then over here I give you another little booklet. It opens up this way with these roses, and I just added whatever fell off the silk. As I mentioned, when I ripped it, I just sewed it on here, and it just gives you the very soft petal effect. And inside there's a little pocket here for something, and some different pages that I sewn around. And here's a pocket as well, And here's the beautiful silk, pink silk that I use throughout the book. And little pocket here. And another pocket up here as well. So a little booklet for some extra space for journaling. And then on this side, this is the coupage on a doily, and then I also stamped up over a doily, and it left these marks here in the corner. And then over here is one of those pages that I added words and then printed up, and this beautiful button in this color that goes with this fabric and lace tab with all the different. This one has eyelash trim, but it's a little bit different than this one here. Also very soft and just so beautiful. A little bit of yellowish in here as well. And this poem here is, I don't know, it might be German or it is some other language, but I just thought it looked so pretty in this font. And it says something about roses, I don't know exactly the wording, but it just looked pretty. And then I stamped up a rose here as well. Here's a dog rose in pink, vintage book page. This one is a pocket for you to fill, and then I stamped up a violet rose over here and some green leaves and lines. And here's a tall pocket. This lady in a coral dress, very, very beautiful. And of course, in the back it's coffee dyed, so you can write on it. And in the bottom, I put more fabric and lace here as well. And then this is the middle of the second signature fabric, and then white lace on the top. And I stamped up, this is impressions, I'm sorry, not stamped up, this is leaf impressions, because they're so large, an actual leaf impression on a page with a little bit of watercolor or that little metallic paint that I like to use. And then in the middle is another page from the Victorian catalog. This is about flower baskets. And in the back about arbors, rose arbors. Of course, you can grow your roses on arbor beautifully. So, and here it goes on with this beautiful leaf impression. I like the fact that actually I didn't trim this. I just left it as it is, and it does stick out quite a bit, but it's just as well. It just adds more to the softness overall that I try to achieve. In the middle over here too, I just left whatever was over. I didn't trim it, and it's just it has a cascading kind of look. Over here is another lady. This one has gold ribbon on top, and she has a yellowish gold dress on. Very beautiful. And on the bottom is another fabric and ribbon collage over here. And then some more stamping over here. In this pocket is another little notebook with also a vintage book page that has roses on it. And then a little bit more over here sewn in of ribbon. And then inside is a little bit for you to read about roses over here as well. And then a little rose over here. And then amateur gardener. Over here some graph paper. And over here you have a rose as well to look at. And then some more paper and the blue paper also. So just a little bit, extra space for your journaling. And over here is a pocket. This is parchment paper. It's actually like from a photo album, but I think I showed you my forgotten stash or in something that I shared from a photo album that has each page as you turn it has a piece of parchment paper, and I started using that. So over here, stamping of the rose, and then here's one of those little butterflies again with the wings. It's almost like it's real. And then he has these little tails over here and his pine. So let's just pretend it's a butterfly. And some lace over here and a label. It has also a little bit collaging, tiny collaging. I also like to do tiny collaging. I call it that because it's tiny pieces of paper, again, that I might have thrown out, but I keep everything, and then I put a little piece of fabric and a little tiny piece of sparkly, and there you go. It's a beautiful collage. And over here is that doily with decoupage and some stamping over here. And then over here is a pocket for you to fill. Over here is a little poem here. Just want to make sure that you see it, about roses, and also collaging cheesecloth and picture and book page, all book pages around, and so on. And over here's another beautiful, beautiful, this greenish color, really going really well with this book page over here. Ribbon pocket, so you can put something in that. Very, very delicate. And then in the back is this beautiful rose. And it's something about the rose thorns. Of course, you have to be careful about the rose thorns. They can be harsh sometimes, but most of the times, if I buy roses, you know, they come, of course, without thorns, and I love roses any time of year. And I even keep the petals afterwards for a little while in a bowl. And over here's a pocket, and a little bit more stamping and collaging, and another pocket. And I did a stamping. This is the other side of the stamping of the little rose garden, as I call it. So over here also, some collage ribbon and lace and fabric collage. So over here also a little bit tulle, I think, with a little bit sparkly, and then a little bit of the painter's paper, I believe. It comes in a big roll, so I just cut it up and put a bit here for writing. And then this is also a beautiful lace pocket here. And then stamping over here, and more collaging over here with a bit of ivory lace here, or silk, ivory silk, and then a little bit more here. This is the cotton that I used in the closure as well. So just a little bit more of it. And then the English Rose Garden miniature roses, another little collage here and stamping. And then this is the other side of the blue paper that I put the ribbon on here. I left this one also circled or half circled as it is, just taped it up a little bit and so on. So it just feels right to leave it in this way, whatever form that it came in. And then over here's a little booklet, and of course here's that additional page. This is something I printed, the first rose of summer, and then a little bit of sparkly pink butterfly here. Look at it. It's just like a butterfly. And over here is white lace, and just a couple of, you know, writing spots in here with some paper, and this one as well. Still using the colors that rose might come in, like this beautiful darker blue and so on. A little bit of line paper. You can put something else in it. And this is the actual front page of that music sheet, the first rose of summer. Very beautiful. And then coming towards the end here of the second signature and the journal here. So a little bit of a pink tab on the top, and then the cottage, the English cottage, of course, filled with all kinds of colors of roses and different flowers. And an empty pocket here. And then this beautiful pinkish here. Some stamping, and then a flip out page this way. So here you have a notebook with different papers inside to write on. And then on top is, of course, the rose. An embossed tag, if you can see the embossing, and collaging of all kinds on the top here, on the front, and then this fabric with the rose. So coming to the end, so this is a pocket as well. You can put something inside here, and this is like a fabric ribbon, and then one of these beautiful crocheted flowers here, and a pocket to fill. And at the very end we have this lovely lady. She is in the rose garden She has just picked a bouquet of roses here, and she's got this beautiful blue dress to offset the pink roses, and this is a little bit of a collage here, also with a tiny bit of sparkle. And this pocket here with the beautiful collaging here as well. And let me just show you the back of the journal before I go to the middle of it. So now, to show you why some of those pockets, quite a few of them, are empty, I'm going to go to the middle. And I'm going to show you this little treasure here. It is really, it is confection for the eyes. I'm just going to take it out because it is a folder. And you can put, if you want more pages here, it has a little bit of a flower or a rose charm here, or you can just keep this folder, or you can just keep the folder in this way as well. So this folder, just look at the details here, has this shiny little bead here, and then a little flower with some beads. I did not make this. It came this way. And then I did make these petals. These are the different silks that I've been using throughout the journal. And as I said, I left all the fuzzies on it, and it's just beautiful to look at and just feast your eyes on it. And then this eyelash trim as well. And the title here, The Rose. And then also this beautiful cardstock. And then I reinforced the spine of it with also the pink lace. And this is the back of it. And then it has a pocket here that you can fill as well. And then right on the bottom is rose petals also. I just happened to put in a couple of, leftovers that I had and sewn through them, and they curled up, and it just looks like rose petals right here. Then more eyelash trim, of course, and sari silk over here, and ribbon on the sides. So let me just show you inside here. So first of all, we have another one of these beautiful crochet flowers here. And then inside here, well, there's a whole variety of different things, different ephemera. I'm going to show you one by one, but also show you a little bit this way first, just to tease you a little. And on this side also, and over here, and here, and here. So let me start at the beginning over here. This one has many just different cuttings of the names that you can use, or little poems, or little cuttings. This is just printed on white, like a grocery bag, paper bag. It's almost like decoupage paper practically. And this rose as well. And then a little collage that I made that you can put somewhere else within the book. Or you can use it on any other journal that you might have. It doesn't have to be in this book. Now this is a journaling card that I made with a little bit of texture and a little poem. This is just index cards that I sewn together. Index cards in color. And then this one here with this beautiful pink button that says roses, and looks like white roses over here. And also a journaling card. This one is from a vintage page book, or book page, that has information about roses, and on the top it says autumn roses, and maybe, when they turn into a seed and so on. And in the back as well. So this is from one pocket over here, and then there's another pocket. And this one has a little bit of a notebook. Has a couple of pages to write on. And a little white rose over here. And then fabric on the top and a cardstock front. Then over here I printed from the New York Public Library. What does it say? A goodbye kiss at the door. So anyways, it says here, a lady in the garden. And then, of course, in the back here, and right on it. And I made it all vintage looking on that newsprint that I use. And then on the very top is a spot for this beautiful, beautiful tag, and it has a little bit of bluish tint on the back. And over here, the silks that you saw over here on the front that hang over, and then it says the rose on it. And I did sewing all through the rose, all the leaves and so on, and put in different fabrics and papers and ribbons and so on. So a lot of work in just in this tag and a couple of others. So that I will put on the top, and then this can hang out while it's closed, or it can hang over when you have the folder out. So let me just put this back over here quickly so you know where it goes. And this will go here. Just, of course, any way that you put it, you can arrange it whichever way you would like. And over here for writing a little bit. And then on this side, we have also a little bit more roses that you can put somewhere. And a little bit printed rose here. And a couple of, one collage here that, you know, you can glue somewhere else. And some poems that you can also put somewhere about roses. Of course, the topic of this journal, or the day for today anyways, making these videos. It's going to be a long video again. And here I put yellow roses. Just beautiful yellow rose with some beads on top here. And a little bit of a detail here as well. Then this is a little, well, not a little, it's a good size folder. Over here you can write on it. And this is the parchment paper here again. You can see through. It says here spring roses. And over here it has a pocket. It has, you know, authentic postage stamps. Some are roses and flowers. And one here is a bird. Because, of course, you know, roses, you see butterflies and birds around. This beautiful Alabama stamp that has this beautiful red rose and a bird on it. And then this is just the writing spot. And then over here is a little tag that says Love Pink Roses. That's really for my own personal blog spot called Love Pink Roses. And I punched out a little sun over here, or a flower, whichever you would like. And then put a little bit more pink here. So beautiful little tag here. And this. And then over here on the top, in the top, well, the middle really pocket, because there's one on the top as well. So this one is decoupage paper. I just glued it on, and a little bit more detail over here with the different textures, and a small tag over here in this red with lines on it, and here as well. So everything. Now this is like a folder type that you might put over a page, you know, in a journal like this. And then you have something on each side, but on the back you can write on it. So that is that. And over here is another page that I printed, a rose with a broken stem. Probably maybe a play, or maybe another song, I guess. So you can write on the back. And another pocket on the very top with a large tag, and beautifully pinkish here on the back. And then some dried roses and some live pink roses. And over here a little bit of a flower stem, and then different collaging going on, and sewing all throughout as well. And so this is the folder, the rose folder, where you will find most of your ephemera that you can use in this journal or any other journal that you would like to see roses in. And or you can even leave this as it is and just look at it as you go, you know, because it's just so sweet looking, and so beautifully pink and everything. It's just, like I say, sheer confection for the eyes. and for, you know, for us who appreciate journal items such as this. So this is the middle of the rose. I'm just going to put it back in to be held down, but you can use it any which way that you wish. And then put this beautiful little rose over here. So this is the end. This is the beginning and the middle and the end of the rose. I'm going to sign it in the back and put it in my Etsy shop. So if you would like to, you know, see more pictures, I will have some pictures in there, of course, with our listings that we do. And so I appreciate you coming by today to see the new journal, The Rose. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope everybody's healthy in our community, and everything's going well for you. Things are good here so far, knock on wood. Not wood, but anyways, maybe my table. And I hope it stays that way. So I appreciate you coming by again, and please stay safe. I'm just going to clip this back on because I took it off while I was showing you the journal. And have a good day. Thank you. Please come back again and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye. Rosie at RoseByNameCo.